I want to ask you, Dr. Mandel, because you're the president of the Society of Ketamine Physicians, and you work with mental health professionals when you're administering it. But when you hear Leslie's investigation, does that disturb you that she's able to go to clinics and there's just an intake form she signs and, hey, let's take you back and start infusing you with ketamine, which is an incredibly powerful drug?
Yes, that disturbs me very much. It's totally out of line, inappropriate. These people, whatever their credentials, are not being good doctors to their patients.
I think what's even more concerning is obviously ketamine is approved for people with major depressive disorder. It's being used off-label for a number of other mental health issues. But you're saying you were told it could treat anxiety and migraines and all of these other conditions where it really isn't indicated.
What is the position of, you're the president of the society, you're the main man. What is your position?
I am the president of the American Society of Ketamine Physicians. I helped to found it. I'm very proud of it. It's the only organization of practitioners who are really devoted to using this medicine for all of its behavioral indications. However, I'm not speaking as for the society, I'm speaking for me. And for me, we have an amazing drug here, which is very broad in its application. It's a great anesthetic. For for several decades, it was the most widely used anesthetic in the world.
Used at my office.
Yeah.
Okay, it's also a party drug. People get high from ketamine, mostly by putting it up their nose. It's also, and more recently discovered to be an amazing treatment for depression, for suicidality, for PTSD. But I know we can kind of laugh at, oh, how could they be using ketamine for that? How could they use it for anxiety? And for a long time, it looked like maybe it wasn't so good for anxiety. It's turning out to be good.
And so my question is, obviously this drug has really good indications when administered ethically and with the right mental health diagnosis. But how do you reserve it for those situations? I mean, you as the president of the society, how do you propose it be regulated so it's not withheld from people who appropriately need it, but it's also not being really used and cannibalized by these for-profit centers popping up? 1,665% increase in several years. I mean, clearly not all of those people are using it for the right reasons.
Yeah, and I wouldn't think
Many
you're
people
condoning these weekend courses, right, doctor? I mean, is that safe to assume?
I deplore the weekend courses. You can't become an expert in anything in medicine in a weekend. However, people can learn that. And as the doctor pointed out, people can also collaborate with others where they have a gap in their expertise. And the man or woman who gives ketamine to patients can collaborate with others in making sure that there aren't any gaps. As far as relapses, the drugs given in psychiatry have to be taken, most of them, have to be taken every single day, or you start to have problems of withdrawal. Ketamine is a treatment, not a cure. It's amazingly effective, but it doesn't last forever. We don't damn insulin because even though it worked great yesterday, your sugar's out of control today. No, you have to take insulin again. Why is it so bad that you have to have a booster of ketamine after 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 weeks?
We do have to take a quick break. Really quickly before we go to break, can you let our viewers know the difference in dosing when you're looking at, so if I'm using ketamine in the ER, for instance, to do a procedure, conscious sedation, versus people who are using it to get high versus what you're using to treat someone who maybe has major depressive disorder? What are the...
Sure. The abusers are taking about 1.5 grams a day. When you're sedating someone in the emergency room for a brief procedure, you're probably giving them 300 milligrams.
And what are you giving?
And when I give in the clinic for a starting infusion, they're getting about 40 milligrams, 45 milligrams. It's a huge difference.
And I just wanted to clarify that as people are watching, because you may ask yourself, how can there be a drug that is used as a drug of abuse, used in emergency departments and surgery centers for sedation, and then also used to treat major depressive disorder? Varying doses here.